All right, today we are sticking on our streaming theme for just a little bit longer. This one you can find on Hulu, HBO Max. Occasionally it's rotating through a couple other streaming services as well. But again, those are the ones where with your subscription, it'll be available. Today we're reviewing The Batman. Starring Robert Pattinson. You know that there is a lot of different Batman versions out there. This is one that, take note, it's not your typical superhero movie. This one's a little bit more detective style, crime thriller, and it just happens to be a Batman movie. Stay to the end, take a look at our clean score sheet, as well as how this ranks with kids and teens, and let's get into it. Okay, so this different version of Batman. He's a little bit younger, rough around the edges, still trying to figure some things out. He's not polished at all. He's a little bit out of control in some instances. Not really what you've seen traditionally before. And the tone of this movie, it's dark. Not just visually, but as far as the story, the pacing, the whole lot of it is a darker story. And take note here, this is a bit of a longer movie, almost 3 hours. And don't let that detract you. It is a visually amazing movie. The story is good, but it is a little bit longer of a burn. Now, story-wise, this leans into the detective side of things very heavily. It's a mystery. There is a serial killer. Batman is trying to piece all of these things together. It's a little slower, more methodical as it goes through each of its sequences. So if you were expecting kind of non-stop action, this probably isn't your cup of tea. Now, just a quick reminder, if this review helps you decide what to watch, please take a second to like and follow the channel, as well as share with somebody you think would benefit from the clean, practical reviews that we make here. That really helps us to find more families who are looking for material they like watching. So let's jump onto the performances. Robert Pattinson did a solid job, a little bit different take on the character Batman. He's more quiet, more internal. As I said, less talking, more observing in this film. Honestly, I think there was a total of maybe 50 lines that he had in the movie. The supporting cast honestly had a lot more lines than he actually did, but as Batman, there was a lot of quiet and internal reflection from him. Now, this supporting cast, very strong. You have Colin Farrell as the Penguin, which when you see it, you won't even recognize him. They did that good of a job changing kind of how he looks. You also have Paul Dano as the Riddler. He does an amazing, amazing job with that character. And take note, even though it is the Riddler, this is not the goofy version. This is a very serious version. You then have Zoe Kravitz as Catwoman, and she does an amazing job as well. Overall, the casting in this film was extremely well done. All right, so let's jump into our clean score sheet. As you jump into the story, take note, as I've already mentioned several times, this is a more detective story than a necessarily superhero movie. Slower, more methodical, more detailed, and it got the lower marks just because the story sometimes felt a little bit slow. You're trying to kick it in the butt and get it to move along. Overall, a very good story, just goes kind of slow parts. Okay, then we jump down to our performance. You can see right here, got a little bit higher mark. Robert Pattinson does a very good job, and his supporting cast does a very good job as well. But as I said, doesn't really talk much in the film. It makes you feel a little bit like the Twilight series, and where there's a lot of looking. Don't get me into those pieces, but a lot of that instead of dialogue, which doesn't detract much, but just go into it knowing that the dialogue is a little bit less in this film. Now, the visuals, this is where the movie shines. Dark, gritty, very stylized, amazing shots. They did a very, very good job with the visuals of this film. And then we jump down to the experience. Because of the length of the film, right? And because of the amount of thinking you had to do, kind of piecing things together, because again, the dialogue is a little bit less, that's why the experience got dropped down a little bit lower, down to a 7 in this one. Okay, let's jump into our language. You can see the language is up here high. Remember that if you're going to drop an F-bomb or S-word or those types of scenarios, that's going to jump your number up really fast, right? Now, this wasn't extremely as frequent as some 13s I've seen, but they were still there, and take note of those. Now, intensity. This is a place to pay close attention. This is a dark movie, dark themes, serial killer tone, and some of the gore was a bit on the edge, in my opinion, for a 13 film. Now, Batman is usually a little bit darker. This one was definitely heavier than your average superhero movie, and honestly, than any Batman before it. Okay, on the romance. They are in a club in a couple scenes. There's girls wearing scantily clothes. You see in one scene a girl changing from her underwear into other clothes as well. Just take note. That's why we got a little bit higher on that romance side as well. There's really no romance per se, but there is kind of this scenes to take note of. Okay, then that jumps us down to the cringe. This is a detective serial killer type movie. With those types of instances, there is a little bit more intensity, as I've mentioned up top already, that comes along with this. The language, that plays into our cringe as well. The romance plays into the cringe. And so all of those pieces, that's why our cringe score here got a little bit higher. So then you take a look at our family watch factor. We are giving this a red light just because of the language, and it is an intense, dark movie with heavy themes. That one is on the edge for me for even middle-aged teens. I would argue older teens to adults is really where this one fits. So if you like a darker, more serious tone than your superheroes, you're gonna land well with this one. If you're expecting something a little more lighthearted, superhero, action-based, probably gonna be a skip for you. All right, that's the Batman. I appreciate your time. I appreciate you tuning in. If you like the content we share here, please like, follow, and share, and I will see you at the movies.